The Daily Courier and the Grants Pass and Josephine County Chamber of Commerce hosted 2 local candidates' forums this week in Grants Pass. The following clips are the candidates' opening statements in Tuesday and Thursday's forums.
Good evening. The reason that I am here, and my name has pretty much been synonymous for the last 20 years with our community and its care and watching and diligence in wanting to know what's going on with our society and our endeavors as a unit in the whole. All of us here in this room suffer under the same types of problems. We just don't deal with it under that. I've been president of Josephine County Taxpayer Association. I've been vice chair of the Oregon Constitution Party. I've been Second Amendment, First Amendment group leaders, civic-minded citizens for outcome-based education, vice chair of Concerned Citizens of Rogue Valley. We have in our like minds, people like me have always wanted a healthy community. That's the goal. All of us will suffer under whatever mistakes are made, but we don't all do it under the same party affiliation, and we don't all do it under the same type of formats that people come to change. They want change, but they only want change because things are going wrong. All of us in this room are here hoping to make a difference.
Hi, I'm Tom Johnson, the Democrat Party and the Working Party nominee for the state representative. I've lived here for over 50 years, so I know the issues that we're facing. Excuse me. I think this election is about choices. It's about freedom and equality. I believe we have a right to be safe on our own property from being sprayed with toxic chemicals, and I plan on voting yes on 17.63. I support our right to know what we're eating. I will vote yes on Measure 92. I support equal pay for equal work. I support the state ERA, and I am in good company with 4 former Oregon Supreme Court justices also supporting Measure 89. I support equal opportunity in education, expanding access to higher education, and I think Measure 88, the Oregon Opportunity Initiative, reflects the kind of thinking we need to do just that. I believe money is not speech. I think we need to get money out of politics. In the last cycle, in one of the legislative races in the Portland area, there was over $1 million raised, and the winning candidate raised $750,000. I don't think that's right. I believe corporations are not people, but I do believe that voting is a right. I believe that Measure 92 is a deeply flawed measure that, while it's said that it might increase turnout, similar bills in Washington and California have done the opposite. Lesser people have voted. Minor parties have not gotten into even into the general election. These 2 candidates would not be here under a Measure 92. So now you know how I feel. If you feel similar, then vote for me, please.
Good evening. My name is Mark Seligman. I'm running for State Rep, District 3. I'm a libertarian. I believe in personal freedom. I believe that we need to be critical of government when government abuses its rights. I was born in New York City, which is obviously a hotbed of politicalness. Moved to California in 1980 and moved up here in 1995 after my house got hit by a mudslide. I seem to be a victim of bad things. My house got hit by a fire in November, but I pursue anyway. My stance on the issues are as follows. I would urge you all to vote yes on Measure 92, GMO labeling. I would urge you all to vote yes on Measure 91, the legalization of marijuana. I would urge you to vote yes against pesticides. What's important to me here is local issues. As a state representative, I will be concerned with local issues, not state issues, unless the state issues specifically affect Josephine County. My goal in running is to increase the personal freedom of the citizen without infringement of government. I believe in, one of my main political things has been no on property tax levies. I would continue that on a state basis, asking the state not to raise taxes in Josephine County. And it's an important election because what we're doing now will affect the next 4 years. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank you for attending tonight. Good to see you here. I appreciate it. I am Carl Wilson. I'm the Republican nominee for House District 3. It is a position that I previously held from 1998 to 2003. I moved to Grants Pass with my family in 1957 when I was 5 years of age. I went through the local school system, K-12, did a little college, and then I joined the Navy during the Vietnam era. While in the Navy, I married my high school sweetheart, Melinda, and she was able to finish my tour with me at Subic Bay, Philippines. After that, I came back home in 1973 and went to work in the family business, selling radio advertising and announcing as well. I did that for many years before I was appointed to a position in the House of Representatives here in Oregon. I was subsequently reelected 2 times for that position. Melinda and I have raised 2 kids. They graduated from Grants Pass High and later Willamette University. We have 7 grandchildren. I'm running to try to bring prosperity back to Southern Oregon. It's not going to be easy. I'm not Roosevelt. I do not have a New Deal. But battling attacks on private property, burdensome rules and regulations, abuse by state agencies, and a lockup of our natural resources, these are the things that get me up on every legislative day. Besides all that, I'm lending my effort to try to get the federal land in Josephine County under our control. With 68% of our land owned by the federal government, what can we do? The answer is not easy, but I intend to throw in my lot with those individuals who are working to prevail on the U.S. government to extinguish title and give us those lands. It may sound like a pipe dream, but there's an effort underway. Somebody's got to do it, and I'm happy to do it. Again, thank you for being here this evening.
Good evening. My name is Roy Lindsay, and I'm running for City Council Ward 1. The main purpose of government is to protect its citizens. To illustrate that, let's take a look at the U.S. Constitution. The Founding Fathers really understood this. In the preamble to the Constitution, the first thing they mentioned was to form a more perfect union. The colonies were not playing well in the same sandbox, and so that was one of the reasons why the Constitution was written. But the second item in the preamble illustrates, very importantly, to promote justice. With justice, there is protection. And justice is really important because without justice, people can't plan, they can't look forward, they can't conduct businesses. And so I am, in my experience here in Josephine County, I've been involved with the Sheriff's Advisory Council. I've been on the Long Range Funding Task Force. I was chair of the Civilian Financial Review Committee for the county. And this year, I was chair of the City Budget Committee. But justice also means protection. And protection involves much more than that. City water, protecting the purity of city water so that all citizens can have a safe environment. Roads, streets, all kinds of things, parks. That is the role of city government, to provide a lifestyle and way of life and climate that promotes business and enhances the quality of life. So I'm very, very much supporting those things that make Grants Pass a better place to live. Thank you.
I'm Bill Terrell, and welcome everybody here. I'm glad to see the interest in politics and what's going to go on in your county, state, and the city. I'm a conservative. I'm a frugal person. I was raised on a farm. We ate what we grew. I went into the military. I spent 10 years as law enforcement. I was held responsible for my actions. I hold other people responsible for their actions. The city does things with your money, and I think they need to be held responsible for. When I was in the military, I was responsible for repairing airplanes, even Air Force One, to protect the people that flew on them. So I hold my responsibilities to heart. We have a county here where you look at economic development. The county and the city have received funds from the state. I'd like to know what they've been doing with that. If they're squirreling it away to something else, that's criminal. I look into the state, the federal, imposing rules on us that they should not. I am in favor of pushing back on those guys. Let them know. Don't do that. The Constitution does not allow you to push us around. We need to start pushing back and saying, no, we are individuals, and you abide by the law just like we have to. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Dennis Roller, and I'm running for Ward 3, the southeast section of the city. For 23 years, I was editor of the Daily Courier. I retired at the end of December. And when I was editor, I managed a staff that covered City Hall and all its issues. I researched those issues to write editorials about them. I did that for 23 years. I think it gave me a unique perspective on what the city faces and its issues. And now that I have the time, I'd like to use that knowledge on City Council to help the citizens of Grants Pass keep this a town that we're proud to live in. As Kevin mentioned, my opponent, Mr. Bagwell, has chosen not to campaign. He'll be on the ballot, but he won't be, he's not campaigning. But I felt it kind of incumbent upon myself to come here and give my views, what I'd want to do as a counselor tonight. So that's why I'm here tonight, and I'm glad you're all here too. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Can you hear me? I'm losing my voice. I'm your sheriff, Gil Gilbertson, and your trust and confidence in me is greatly appreciated, and I respect that, serving the office of sheriff. Managing the sheriff's office requires special training and a real-world experience to develop a sense of proportion needed to act appropriately in complex, fast-moving circumstances. I bring you 40 years of experience, including 14 years of administration in law enforcement. I'm a proud veteran. I've served in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and State Department. I've also served in Vietnam, Bosnia, Kosovo, Iraq, and a short stint in Katrina. These are real-world experiences, and they're mine. On a wide scale, they go far beyond any routine police work. Looking forward, your safety is my greatest concern. Countywide, your health, safety, and welfare are protected by many branches of our government, county ordinances, and state laws. I actively cooperate with other agencies and appropriately respond to constructive needs of other government entities. This responsibility I take very serious. Protecting your constitutional rights, liberties, and freedoms are my top priorities. Clearly, you can see we are experiencing some financial difficulties in Josephine County. Since electing me, my administration efficiency has already saved you over $16 million tax-paying dollars. Also, you now have over 160 new programs that successfully cut the sheriff's budget by hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. Together, we've endured a most challenging financial period. Limited county funds are budgeted by our commissioners, who annually decide the budget for the sheriff's office. My administration then provides the best possible service with those funds.
Thank you. My name is Dave Daniel. As you well know, I'm a candidate for Josephine County Sheriff, and thank you very much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. We're going to talk about some serious things, absolutely, no doubt about it. But first, I want you to get to know me just a little bit. I'm 44 years old, going to be 45 here in a couple months. I have a family of 4 here in Josephine County. I live in rural Josephine County. I don't live within any city boundaries. My wife of 20 years, my bride, Carrie, who's in the audience tonight, my son, Tucker, my daughter, Jacqueline, all both go to Grants Pass High School. I have some education. I have a diploma from Central Catholic High School in Portland, Oregon, where I was born and raised. I came down to Corvallis, Oregon. I had received a Bachelor's of Science degree in Communications in Corvallis. And then I went down to Southern Oregon University while I was working and received a Master's in Management from the College of Business from Southern Oregon University, a degree actually I'm very proud of and taught me quite a bit about business and about finance. My experience in law enforcement is pretty straightforward. I'm a cop, and I've been an Oregon cop for 20 years, almost 20 years. It's verified, undeniable, undisputable law enforcement experience and training right here in Josephine County, where we're hurting real bad, for sure. I started as a deputy reserve up in Benton County, a very short period of time. Came down to the city of Grants Pass for about 3 years, worked here. Went to the Oregon State Police as a resident trooper in Fossil and Eastern Oregon, a very small town in charge of an area about the size of Jackson and Josephine County. I came back to the city of Grants Pass and currently working for them. And this is where I wanted to raise my family, and this is where I'm doing it. Unfortunately, I'm not happy with the way things are going in our community. I'm not happy with the way things are going in our sheriff's office. So here I sit, try and make a difference. Thank you all very much again, and I hope we can inform you and answer all your questions tonight.
I want to thank everybody for attending the Chamber and the Courier for hosting this, but moreover, I want to thank all of you for taking an interest in the future of your county and the leadership that you will make a decision to elect on November 4th. It has been a privilege and an honor to serve for the last 4 years as your commissioner, the only consistent one in the last 6 years. I've served with 6 different commissioners in my short 4-year stint, managed the largest single budget reduction in Josephine County's history since 1856 of $40 million in one fiscal year. Replaced 9 new managers, not hired new ones, but replaced old existing ones that have left us for whatever reason. When I took office in 2011, we had 446 employees that day. We had 278 at the end of our last fiscal year last year. Most of those are coming from the Criminal Justice Department. Those are just a few of the highlights from my first term. It's been pretty doggone challenging for myself and those that I've had a privilege of serving alongside. All that while managed a pretty heavy workload of the liaisonships that the county divides up between the commissioners. Those are the challenges. We've had real successes, though. We're in the best fiscal shape that we have been in a long time. We have an ending fund reserve that is a meager 3.4 for a county of our size, but it is fiscally sound and is approved in our bond rating. We've done a number of things to improve the efficiencies and to put any and every dollar that we possibly can to the criminal justice system and fund it to the best of our ability. We've just got a lack of revenue, and we are addressing those, and I hope to have the opportunity over the next hour or two to address some of the suggested changes and solutions that I have and will propose that could generate between $7 and $9 million of non-tax-based revenue for Josephine County, and I would hope for the privilege to do so.
Good evening, and my thanks to the Daily Courier and the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this. 6 years ago, I became involved in local politics as a city councilor. 4 years ago, I began searching out innovative ways to help permanently fund our public safety system. Today, the city of Grants Pass has a public safety system that works, and it works well. We also have a city council that works well and works well with each other. Because all of the council has the citizens' best interest at heart. This is our primary goal, and as we deliberate, we make tough decisions. I believe that each of us has the priority of the folks at the point of their heart, and that is how we get along so well. I want to bring all of that and more to the Board of County Commissioners. this county is closer to financial disaster than we've ever been. And the meeting I just attended minutes ago with the local Public Safety Commission proved that point, as they are grappling a budgetary nightmare of 43% cuts across the board. The really tough choices are ahead of us. And the question you need to ask yourselves when you vote is, has the status quo worked so far? Is timber really the only answer? And is it, if so, when is it going to actually pay off? Can we afford not to change our path that has led us here to the brink of a fiscal cliff in July 2015? I have already begun working on these for years, these problems, and with your help, and I can do this on a full-time basis, and with your help I can help take control of our lands, help restructure the board of the county commissioners by cutting their salaries and adding 2 more to the board so that we can talk to each other. And with that, I'll cease.
You can read more on this story in the October 10th print and online editions of the Daily Courier.
Hi, I'm Lynn Romer from Cascade Metal Recycling. After putting an ad in the Daily Courier, we did more business in 4.5 days than we normally do in half a month.
Start your business on a proven path to success today.